Yeah, that maybe they'll be picking up in just a short while. Um, I did get the CD in and sent me.
Oh, okay, well, good.
So maybe
Mary?
we'll be able to get that.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hey, I'm a little late.
That's okay. That's all right. I was just telling Jim that I got the CD today that you had sent me.
Oh, you did get it?
I got it today.
Oh, okay. What did it sound like?
I haven't had a chance to listen to it. Just got it in the mail and had to rush out and go to work.
I see y'all made crypto again. Y'all made crypto news again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it.
Huh?
I haven't looked at it lately. I've been from pillar to post, busy.
What are they saying about it?
Well, it's talking about y'all have had about 6 people to report sightings of a Bigfoot down in that area.
Okay, you talking about the 9-foot Bigfoot?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I hope y'all getting some evidence on that big boy.
Yeah, we're trying to. We got a site set up now that we're going to go down there. Probably might go sometime this next week.
Oh, wish I could be with you. Anybody else on the call?
No, it's just us right now.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. Oh, goodness.
Well, you know it's Christmas, so people are out
yeah.
shopping, and if they're not, they're taking it easy.
Mhm. Well, I tell you what, y'all getting pretty popular out there.
Oh, well, yours is not doing too bad either now, is it?
Oh, me? Oh, I don't know. I'm just in my little old corner here. Y'all getting everywhere. Let's see, there was somebody that said something to me the other day that they had recently had somebody around here. I can't think of who it is. I'll think of it before too long, but my friend Brenda, she keeps telling me about the encounters she's had up in here.
What's going on with her?
Well, before the camp out, she'd been very quiet about it, and then I asked her to go out there, and I got to talking to her about all that I had been experiencing with her, here, and I'd been telling her about it, and she started thinking back, and she had two sightings right here at my house.
Mhm.
Oh,
One was down there at the swamp, and the other one was across the road in front of her. The way that she described it, she said, in the swamp, there's not a man in this country is going to get down in that swamp. They're just not going to do it. I mean,
No.
Huge snakes down there.
Yeah.
And it's really marshy. And it's not like swamp you would see like in Louisiana or something like that, but it's there, and we've seen some pretty big snakes, about as big around as your arm or your leg down to there. I mean, and she said one day she was coming across that bridge and she saw some in those trees, and she said it was standing up tall and it was taking real long strides, and she said, and how broad it was looking. And
well, that's another unique feature that they have is they are very broad in the shoulder area.
And taking the long strides. She said, I tried to mimic what they were doing today, and no way but somebody could walk that fast. And then she said that she was coming down the road and she saw one like it was squatting down and stood up and started walking across the road in front of her. But she never would say anything about it because she didn't want to get frightened, because she loves to come up here and visit me, and a lot of times she has to drive home at night, or if she doesn't, spend the night.
So she's one of those see no evil, hear no evil, that is not there.
Yeah, up until the end. She said she really felt like the good Lord was protecting her from it, because she'd seen it, she would have freaked out.
Yeah.
She just couldn't put it together. And I said, Brenda, you know better than that. I said, there's nobody going to be walking down there in that swamp.
Mhm. Well, if you watch the video of the 9-foot one, Jim shows where the height of the creature was.
Oh, you got a video on it?
Oh, there's a video of it on there, yes.
Whereabouts?
It's on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. And it's called Alabama Adventures Getting Close to Bigfoot. Sasquatch Joe, right?
Big Joe.
Big Joe, the 9-foot Bigfoot.
Okay.
Sasquatch, rather.
Yeah. Okay, how long has that been on there?
A week?
Maybe. A week? Well, I haven't been online.
Yeah, maybe a week.
I'll have to check it out. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, it took us a while to finish it.
But y'all did get a video of him?
No, we haven't got a video of him. It's just a video of all of the evidence and the reports and where it was sighted at.
Oh, okay. All right.
And the good news is that we do have permission to go in some areas over there and set up a camp and observe and see if we can catch him on video.
Mhm. Well, goodness gracious. Well, I'll tell you what. There's somebody.
That is Dwight. Dwight, welcome to the call.
Hey, how you doing?
We're doing good.
And I'm here with Amber as well.
Okay. Hello, Amber.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good.
I missed anything yet?
Well, no, we were just discussing that we make cryptozoology news again.
Again?
Again.
Okay.
With
they made it on they've had how many sightings now, Dorothy?
It's
4, I think.
4, and then Jim saw it, of 9-foot Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And what county is this in?
Tallapoosa.
Tallapoosa. Dwight, hurry up and get home. Amber, you too. We're going to Tallapoosa.
Well, you're welcome to come down here, and we are trying to set up some events down here so that y'all can come in and see.
Well, have there been any reports, Dorothy, of it hurting anything or damaging any property down there, or are the hollers and the yells and the screams?
I hadn't had any reports of damage or anything like that. The biggest thing is where he has been seen the biggest part of the time is just walking down a little four-wheeler, like a trail, and heck, you can see him from the highway. And that's where I have got most of the reports from. Well, I had somebody to call me, and they were all excited, hollering, and said, I saw the biggest Bigfoot I've ever seen on TV or in books or anywhere. He was just walking down the side of the road. And,
wow.
Kind
of gives you the creeps. Whew.
It does sometimes.
It's really great.
But heck, like you said a while ago, I just, whenever I'm off at a place like that, I was down there this afternoon, as a matter of fact, and whenever I'm in a place like that, I just, I guess what I keep in mind is, well, God will protect me if something comes up, and everything. So you can't take away that you have to look at it.
Right. Oh, not unless they tell you you're going to be safe in the woods, like that Biden told me.
Yeah. Well, Dwight, have you heard anything down there where you're at now? I understand you're in Texas now.
Yeah, we're in Houston now. I don't think there's any chance of us seeing any Bigfoot around here.
Too much of a populated area.
Yeah, we live right next door to the interstate. Not right next door. We live about a mile from it.
That's close enough.
We're in Woodlands. We're about 40 minutes north of Houston, but it's still pretty populated up here.
Mm-hmm.
So, on the way to where we lived in Louisiana, I mean that's prime Bigfoot country right there on the Sabine River and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you know anybody who owns property down there that might allow us to come in and investigate?
Not at the moment. I don't. I know I haven't had a chance to meet too many people here and talk to them about land. I do have a friend of mine who has land. Who has a hunting lease down in Matagorda, Texas. It's close. It's south of. It's right off the coast, pretty much. But this is a big wooded area off the coast, close to Corpus Christi.
I was going to say Corpus Christi. I have an aunt who lives out there. I'll have to call and see if we can get something set up out there.
Yeah.
Dwight listened to that video, Dorothy, and he said he had never heard nothing like that before, and he stays in the woods out there in Louisiana.
Uh-huh.
When he was doing all that training, he never heard anything like that.
Well, Jim's got a little bit of information on that happened down here with somebody hearing it sounds like a baby cry like that.
What did it say? What did he say? I mean, what do you got to say about it?
It has been several years back now, and I had somebody to call me. They actually came by the house, and wanted to know if that was associated with Bigfoot. And I said, yes, heck, I had heard that. I had never heard one, the crying. But they said that they heard it where they worked. And, the lady was going to work one morning, and this Bigfoot walked across the road in front of her. And, of course, she had told me about that, and then later that day she came by. But she said where it walked across the road, just right on down the road was where she worked, and said she got out of the car that morning, and I was trying to think of what time. She said, but it was on up in the morning a little while. I think she'd been out, like when they take a break and everything. She went out to her car, and said down in the woods she could hear this baby crying. So she goes back in and tells somebody else that works with her that there's sound like there's a baby down in the wood. And she said her and several other people over the period of that day heard it and had walked down in the woods. Thought maybe somebody had put a baby out down there, but said they didn't ever find the baby, but they had seen a Bigfoot that morning. So somewhere, that's what I was telling Dorothy. I had read somewhere that the crying was associated with them, but I can't remember where it was right now. But anyway, I had one of the little booklets that I did back in 2000. I had that sighting report in it that lady gave me, and that's what I got out the other night and looked at it after she told me that you had got it on a tape and everything, that the baby crying was associated with Bigfoot. Now, heck, I've never heard it, but now I have been in the woods and heard what I thought was children laughing and playing, and heck, that could be the same thing,
Well, didn't Leonard Nimoy say something about that on one of his things that he did on his documentaries about Bigfoot?
I think he did, and I have been back through some of them on YouTube, but I haven't been able to locate it yet.
Well, I want to point something out to you about this video that I've sent you, Dorothy. If you'll listen to it really good, let me bring you up to it, how it happened. Okay.
Okay.
I was sitting in my bedroom. I had the TV on, and
okay. Hold on just a second. We have Kathleen Champion.
Oh well, it's Samuel Champion here.
Samuel. Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to greet you. Mary Catherine's trying to tell us a little something about this.
Well, what I want to know is, I watch you on the internet, right, on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I hadn't got the one you got tonight. Ain't gonna be on YouTube, is it?
When we finish it, it will.
Okay, all right. Now, Mr. Jim, the one, the founder of it. Honey, just please relay a message to him for me.
He's here. He's sitting right here.
Okay. I like to listen to what he's got to say, but he talks so low, or his mic is so low. I've got my volume turned all the way up, and I can't hear him.
Okay, we'll work on that.
Yeah,
okay, I appreciate that. And I'll be watching for this show here right after you get through with it, right?
Right.
Okay. Thank you,
Go, did he?
well, I guess he just wanted to know.
Well, what I was saying is I'm going to bring you up to it. See, that night, I had my TV on. It wasn't extremely loud, but I'm sure if Martin had been awake, he would tell me to turn the TV down. And I was sitting in my chair in my bedroom watching TV. Well, I had the door to the bathroom, which is on the back side of the house, and the window was cracked. Well, I heard something just crying. I mean, it was nonstop. It was like, like a baby, crying and everything. And I said, what in the world? And I get up and I said, oh, goodness. And so I grabbed my phone. I went to the back, and you can see that I held my phone long because I was trying to film it going outside. But it's a good thing I didn't, because you can see the time on the clock. It says 10:29, and I listened to it, and I was thinking, where's Sledge at? It kept going on in my mind. And if you listen to the sounds of it, it changes. A lot of people say it's a fox, and the fox got a call. But this, it changes like it's like a different, how do you call it? Not syllables, but ranges. It has different ranges, and it wind one time this way, and then one time it even It sounds like it's saying, hey. And then it was, by the time I got to it and recording it, it slowed down. I mean, it slowed down, and then it kept going every once in a while. And what it sounded like to me, it was like, you know, when a baby is upset and it's hungry and everything, and you try to give them that bottle and stuff, and you put that bottle in their mouth, and they still whine out every once in a while, even though they got the bottle sticking out of their mouth because they're so hungry. They were it sounded like a baby upset, wanting to be fed, and then also it sounded like it sounded almost like it was being comforted. Well, I kept thinking, we're Sledge. Well, it got very, very quiet, and after it got very, very quiet, you can hear Sledge jump off the porch and go 90 to nothing down there just barking. And all of a sudden he gets hit or slapped or something hits him and he goes, oh, like that, and he barks out one time. He's back up at the house. All right.
And he didn't get off the porch anymore, did he?
No, he didn't. But what I'm going to say about that now, when I played the recording to Martin, he said, well, where's Sledge at? Well, you know Sledge is a big dog. He's a German Shepherd, weighs about 100 pounds. And he's not going to be scared of no fox. And I don't know, and besides that, a fox wouldn't hurt him. Fox would be crazy to be down there to start with, and if he saw Sledge coming, that fox would took off. And he wouldn't stay around. So that eliminates that part right there.
And if it had been a cat,
if it had been a cat,
into him.
Yeah, they would have tied up, and he'd probably been dead. The bobcat can kill a medium-sized dog, but Sledge is a big dog. But there was no cuts, no scratches, nothing on him. Something hit him. It didn't claw him. It hit him. So what do you say? And then, okay, after that, all right, I went out the next morning, and I sent you some of those videos too. I go down there. They're not good videos. I couldn't ever turn and get them around. But I go down through there, and I'm trying to look for some signs and evidence. That was on that Friday morning. And when I got to this one specific place, Sledge started jumping on me. He wouldn't stop. He was nailing me. And he almost knocked me to the ground. He was hitting me so hard.
Trying to get you to stay away.
Yes, stay away. And when he knocked me one time, it knocked the camera out. And then off, and then I cut it back, and then I got away from that place, and he walked around. But there was one place he did not want me to go. All right, then Saturday I go out again, and I felt led to just go walk on the edge of the field behind the house. And lo and behold, I found those two places, you know. It's not just one, it's two. There's one in front, it's not as big, and there's one in the back, bigger.
Right. We noticed that on there, and I just wondered if it was just the way the light was or if it was indeed two dens there.
Well, it comes up to my shoulders.
That's
and
pretty
all
big.
I got to do is bend down and look in the hole, and you'll see that. And I measured the trees. There were some of them 6.5 inches round. That was up on the tree, not down at the base of the tree where it was broken and pushed over. But I tried to get a better video that Monday. It was in the middle of a briar patch, you know.
Well, that's protection.
But I just felt led. I knew that I was going to find something Saturday. It just came to me. Go out there and look at the edge of the field. Now I have to say this now. When y'all were all up here and we were walking out around the house, and when we first started going, we walked almost to that spot. And when we got to that certain spot, something threw a rock at us.
Right.
Threw something at us. And but we didn't go on a little bit further. It's just like we turned and went the other way. And I think maybe they were there then too, and they were trying to keep us from finding out where they were hiding out or nesting or whatever it was called.
Maybe they were afraid of somebody who was with us.
Could possibility been.
I know they're not afraid of you.
No, and as a matter of fact, it had rained that Sunday, and it had rained that Friday night, Saturday night.
No,
it was Friday night, and I didn't see any prints there. But when I went back Monday, I didn't see any prints either. It's like they may have just wanted to let me know that's where they've been and they've already left.
Right.
But you can see where it's been trotted down. There's no grass growing around those things. And all the trees are going in different directions. You got some of it going toward the field, some on both sides of the field going back, and some pushed back. I mean, they're all going in all different directions, the trees and the grass.
So if it had been a storm that caused it, then they would all been in one direction.
Well, no bigger than the area would. If it did that little bit of damage, it would have been all over.
And it wouldn't have piled it up in a dome either, would it?
No, it wouldn't. And like I said, Martin was really impressed about it. He's the one that made that last video for us to, for me to send to you. I mean, he was impressed. And so I showed you, didn't I, Dwight?
Yeah, you sent me a couple pictures.
I mean, have you ever seen anything like that before around here?
No, I haven't.
It's weird.
I have not. I mean, some animals will burrow up in the cold, but
not like
that
big. Home.
Yeah, not that big.
It had to be that big for some reason.
Yeah.
Whether it was because it was 2 or 3 in there, or if it just had to be that big because the creature was that big.
Well, I also want to tell you about the video now. When I'm standing in front of it, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell, but that is going down a slope. Down, and as it went down, it got bigger.
Yeah.
And higher. So.
Okay.
Well, have y'all ever found anything like that?
I haven't myself.
Not like that that I saw, the picture you sent. No, I hadn't seen anything like that.
Now, we've seen several of the teepee structures that were formed really well, but not as thick around with the vines and all that was.
That one looked like it was made to keep the wind out, too.
So y'all planning on going back to Tallapoosa, is that what you said?
In Tallapoosa County,
Yeah, okay. When y'all are planning on doing that?
Going to try probably one day next week to go over there.
Mm-hmm.
Like he says, he goes over there just about every day in the daytime.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as going later on in the afternoon, it has to wait till I can see because he can't see how to drive.
Are you giving a gifting spot over there? Are you going to be gifting?
A gifting spot, yeah. We've got a gifting spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's sort of what we're going to begin doing, is carrying some things and talking to them.
And I'm also going to try doing the Cherokee and see if they can understand it.
Now, I don't think Dwight missed that part about the Cherokee. You was learning Cherokee. Tell them why you're going to learn Cherokee.
I just feel like that they use the Native American languages and they understand them better than they do the English language, and I'm going to try to communicate using the Cherokee language.
Dwight? Has he went to sleep on us?
No, I was talking to you, but I keep hitting mute because I believe that's true because I have friends of mine that are Cherokee Indians from Oklahoma, and they, I was telling them about the Alabama Bigfoot Society, and he kind of nodded his head and he said, well, I forget exactly how he put it, but they have stories and everything that they go off of, and they call him the shapeshifter.
Shapeshifters, yep.
Yeah. And everything. And his mother-in-law was really big into that stuff. So I was going to try to get her to call in one time, but she's been busy, and I think his wife had a stroke or a heart attack not too long ago and everything, so they've been really busy.
Well, if you can set it up, we can set up a time where we can call. It would just be maybe you and Jim and I and your mom with her,
right,
and talk on that, and just kind of keep it kind of private, because that's one thing some people don't want, is to be heard by a lot of people.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, I could probably say their last name is White Killer.
Mhm. So yeah, that would probably be a damper on some people.
Exactly.
They're what? Wife what?
His name is White Killer.
White Killer. Okay. Well, my cousin that lived out in Onogie, Oklahoma, Howard Turner, and his wife Katie, they swear up and down that I look just like that Wilma, the Chief Wilma Man Killer, her last Man Killer, and she died not too long ago, but they said I look just like her.
Yeah.
And she was the chief over the Cherokee Cherokee. I didn't know they had women chiefs.
They don't discriminate as much as the white people do.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they must have changed because all the old West stories and stuff was always chief running buffalo, sitting bull, and all them other.
All of those old West stories are stories. They're stories.
Yeah.
Their family is family with them, and I mean, everybody's grandmother was everybody's grandmother, and everybody got on to the child just like they were their children. You didn't have to, I'm going to go tell your mom. No, you don't. You get on to them.
Yeah. That sounds about right. That's that way we were with my parents' best friends. They'd turn us up and tear our tail up faster than our parents. But but no, Arla, she is from Oklahoma too, and from what I understand, that Fouke monster, what they call out now.
Is that what they call it?
Well, no, they call it something else, but it's right there close to the Fouke monster. Fouke, Arkansas, they didn't know what.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't know what to call it. But it's right there on the Texas and Oklahoma border of Arkansas. It runs down through that way. So there's been a history of them out there for a long, long time. Like you do know that they saw one in the 1930s here, didn't you?
I think it's got us.
I was sending a text out to White Killer.
Okay.
See if I can get in contact with his mother or his mother-in-law.
Well, tell him to call. Give him the number to call right now. We'll shut up and listen. I'll shut up.
You might have a lot of time.
Well, you know what? We can keep on going as long as we need to. It's my setup here, and we can just go on. We could go on for 6 hours. I think is as long as we can go.
Right. Okay.
As a matter of fact, I've been trying to mull it over in my mind. I hadn't talked to Jim about it yet, but I've been thinking about setting up some classes for all of us to take so that we can, see what everybody does to attract the Bigfoot and the signs to look for and everything. I didn't know how good that would go over, but I was thinking about that.
Well, I don't think it's what Matt Moneymaker do on finding Bigfoot by having laying donuts out, having live bands playing in the woods.
Well, that would make me run away.
I would run away.
Well, I don't do nothing. I don't know how I track them. I guess.
Well, I do.
That they're coming to you for. I'm not sure what it is, but there's for some reason they're coming in contact with you.
Well, they feel safe there, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, I really feel like that they wanted me to see those two nests down there.
Because they knew you would cause no harm.
Yeah. And I even took the baby with me when I went down there. I mean, I wasn't afraid. I had him in the truck, though. But I didn't tell you this, but I will bring that out. After I found those nests on Saturday morning, I got up and I was getting ready for church, and I saw Birdie sitting in the back of the field, and she was sitting right at about 75 feet away from those nests. And I thought it was a statue or something. I just said, "What is that? What is that?" It was black, Birdie's black, and I said, "What is that?" And then I kept looking. Then finally, I saw Birdie turn her head. she was down there staring at those two nests or whatever they are. So, and there's been times that I've heard them at nighttime playing with something back there, and I'm just wondering, is that what they've been playing with at night or what?
It could be.
Maybe some little ones that made friends with her.
Could be.
I don't know.
Have you tried leaving anything out for them? Did you put any milk out or potatoes?
I think Dwight said something.
No, I didn't. I set the phone down.
No, ma'am, I haven't. I haven't put nothing out. I don't want to start putting nothing out around my house.
Oh, no, you don't want to do it right around your house, but maybe down there by that gate where we smelled that when we came back out, or maybe back down on the other side by the hunting blinds.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm kind of worried that they'll follow me out of the woods like they did us that day. They know where I live, Dorothy. And I want to tell you something. That night that one came through my yard. It cut right through my yard and everything. And I want to point out this to you. When it was running, that's when it was doing the yelling. It wasn't standing still yelling. It was yelling going down the woods as it was going down the woods.
Well, maybe he thought distraction would keep you from following him.
Well, no, not so much that. It was just like, have you ever known, I don't know if it's capable for an animal to do that, run and yell like that at the same time. Don't they have to sit still to make the howls and the yells and stuff?
No, I don't think so.
I wouldn't think so.
Huh? No, I'm talking about if it'd been a coyote or something like that. Don't they have to make those long yells and stuff? Wouldn't they have to be standing still?
Well, you could be able to tell it.
Yeah.
Because just like if you're yelling when you're running, you can hear the vibration in your voice.
Oh yeah, and you can hear it in that tape too. You can hear it in that tape. I just wished I'd got it just a few minutes earlier. I mean, it was right in the front yard. You ought to seen Sledge running down through there. He was running across the front of the yard with his tail tucked in, and he was running toward the porch, and he had his head turned around looking at as he was running.
Well,
the dog was scared.
Yeah.
But I told you, it's always around the hunting season.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to be more active at night because there's no activity at night. Free range of movement. And plus, they sleep during the day, right?
I'm assuming they do. Most of the days. Most of the ones that we have seen have been later on in the afternoon.
Now, I know they have their watcher, the ones that they have watching,
Yeah.
From what I've learned, they have one pulling what in the Army.
Guard duty.
Guard. Yeah, guard duty,
Yeah.
So that's what I would imagine.
That makes sense to me. Jim, do you think that white one you saw down there towards Zana could have been their guard? You saw it in the daytime.
Yeah, I don't much think so. He looked old or sick, one or the other. I think he was out looking for something to eat.
Something to eat or maybe a place to die?
Yeah, could have been.
See, I'm thinking that he was really gray and not white.
No, he was white and then kind of a tan. But,
okay.
Like he done got old or sick or something.
Well, let me ask you this, and this isn't Bigfoot. I know when Amber and I, we first got married, we were driving from Curtis Road, coming out at the forks of the road on Yellow Creek Road or Road. We made that right going down towards Barger Road, and as we were driving across the field, there came this, we thought it was a shaggy dog, but it was his hind legs were too high up. And it was his front legs were really low to the ground. It was on all fours, and it was wobbling, running across the road like you would see a bear. And it wasn't until it got right in front of us when we saw a bear and saw that it was a bear. And it was a light brown color. It wasn't a dark color. It was a light brown color, and it was real shaggy.
Called a honey bear.
Huh?
Called a honey bear.
Is that a honey bear?
Yes, I think
I've never heard of it. I've never heard. Black bears in Alabama, but not anything like that. So.
Yeah, there are bears here.
But we
I
never.
knew bears, but I'd never seen a bear like that. You know, a shaggy coat and everything.
Mhm. Was it in the wintertime, or was it in the summertime?
You know, I don't remember. It had to have been close to October. It may have been cold outside.
Because I think they probably grow more fur, and then they shed it in the summertime.
Right. Now, this was close. You know, this is what, 97, 98? Yeah, this is 98. Yeah, it had to have been 98.
Well, I have got something that's going to blow y'all's mind. And, Dorothy, I do not know if you've looked at it.
What's that?
There is a guy named T. Brooks. I think his name is T. Brooks. He just joined the group.
Uh-huh.
And somebody asked him, why did he join? Had he had any encounters and stuff? And he said last year in about February when it snowed that he was taking pictures. And then he noticed in the pictures there was something there. And he blew it up. And when he blew it up, he could only get so close to it. But, Dorothy and Mr. Jim, I want to tell you something. It looks like an African lion.
Really?
Yes. You'll have to look on the wall in there. And I told him, I said, hey, everybody said, well, he thought, well, maybe it's Bigfoot walking on all fours. But it looks like it's got a big, heavy mane. And it has a slick body, and it's huge. You can tell by it being behind these big trees that it is huge. And I told him, I said, well, you know, a lot of times, you know, there are people that own, you know, exotic wild animals.
Oh, yeah.
And they get loose and everything. And I said, have you called to check to see if there was one? But then again, it might be a Bigfoot. I don't know. But if you get a chance, I just welcomed him to the group, I think, yesterday. And but like I said, he's put up several pictures on there, and you can see what looks very close to an African lion. And
well, I'll check that out and see what's in there.
Yeah, something, you know, I could probably tag you in it or whatever so you won't miss it. But I told him about that.
Well, I don't know if I've told you or not, but Cameron and I saw something very unique, and they're not supposed to be in this country.
What's
but
that?
We've seen it twice now, 2 different ones. Dingoes. Dingoes. And they're over in Sana, of course.
Well, it's possible.
Somebody would have had to import them.
Well, here's the thing. You know, Katrina hit New Orleans, right? All right. There was also a zoo down in Gulf Shores when Ivan came through. And it's possible that some of them may have escaped.
Well, it looks like we'd have heard.
Do you really think
Did you say it looks like a lion or a tiger?
It looks like a lion.
Yeah, okay. All right, I thought you said tiger.
No, well, African lion. Are you looking at the post?
Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah.
Don't it look like a lion to you?
Yeah.
There you go. See?
Or a Bigfoot doing a push-up.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
Yeah.
You need to contact that. He says it's down there in Greene County, Hale.
Okay. Well, now over that way now, the government has got a place that doesn't really exist over there, to where they're experimenting with chips. So now there could be one that has got out from over there.
Is that the one they claimed that happened? Is one that had the Black Hawk helicopters and everything flying down there in Greensboro?
Whenever the gorilla was supposed to have been out, and there was some reporter from some Tuscaloosa radio station contacted me and wanted to know what I thought that it might. Did I think it was a Bigfoot or did I think it was a gorilla? Of course, I didn't know. I hadn't talked to anybody over there, but I've got a friend over there that he and I finished high school together, and he contacted me, and after I put a little something on the website about it, and he said that there was for several days that there was black helicopters, there was black vehicles, government people in there that wouldn't talk to you or wouldn't talk to anybody. They were just hunting this thing that had got away. But he said the talk was over there that's what it was, that there was other animals in there, but the government was putting the little microchips in them, and that type of stuff. Which is probably right,
Well, the government hides too much from us.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And who's to say it wasn't a Bigfoot?
Well, the people, it was seen first by a whole busload of children coming home from school. Now, they had no reason to lie.
And they said it was a Bigfoot.
They said it was a Bigfoot. We have had reports from law enforcement officers of Bigfoot in that area.
Mm-hmm.
But they say, don't give my name out.
Well, that's strange because my little nephew-in-law is worked for the deputy sheriff's office down there in Greensboro, and he said that he got a call on the radio when all that was happening. See, when all that was happening is when all this stuff up here was going on with me.
Uh-huh.
It first started out, okay? He said there was a call that came over the radio, and he said, attention all units, says, be sure to stop and get a bundle of bananas and carry them in your car with you.
Yeah,
okay?
for the gorilla, yeah.
Yeah, for the gorilla. But he just said he was at a store where they had did that recording. He says, he was in there getting something to eat, and he says, "Can you believe they just did that?" But I just really feel like the black cars and nobody talking. I really feel like it's like the Man in Black myself.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we've had experience with those.
Yeah.
Men in Black.
I'm really not afraid of them because all they can do is kill you. I mean, that's the most they could do. But they will put a little fear in you.
Really?
Sure will.
Y'all had some visit you?
Yeah.
Been followed by them.
Mm.
But that was mostly from just UFO sightings that I had reported, and was going one day to a reporter to tell him what I had seen and what somebody else had seen, and received a phone call that wasn't going to happen, and that if I wanted to keep my family alive, that wasn't going to happen. So it didn't happen.
You have to be careful.
Sometimes.
Well, there's
but
so
now,
many...
I don't have any immediate family, so it doesn't matter to me now, so whatever happens, happens.
You ever seen anything, Dwight, in the skies?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen anything.
I have.
No,
Did the Men in Black get after you, Dorothy?
They have followed us.
When I was driving Jim somewhere. Jim got in the car with me, and we left his house, and they followed us all the way to. What's about 45 miles away from here? All the way down there and back. And I'm assuming it was.
What were they driving?
Just a black car.
Usually, you can't tell because you can always tell whenever they're following, and I hope they're listening to where they'll know that I know whenever they're following. They always follow you with their lights on bright to just kind of intimidate you. That doesn't bother me now because I can't see at night anyway now. So you finally blinded me. So what you gonna do now?
Well, if you're like me, all my mirrors dim to bright lights behind me. So.
Mm-hmm.
Shine your rearview mirror on them?
No, my rearview mirror dims. It distorts the light, so it's not so bright.
Well, what you do is you cock that rearview mirror where it deflects their lights back into their own eyes.
That's what I do. That is exactly what I do.
Mm.
And they back off in a hurry.
Yeah.
Heck, I even had one night that he was in a pickup, a Chevrolet truck, was solid black. Of course, I didn't know that till I pulled off the road. But I was going down the road and he had his lights on bright, and I pulled off the road in a churchyard, and he come to a complete stop in the road and pulled in behind me and waited on me to pull back out.
Mm.
But they don't really bother me. I mean, like I said, what they gonna do? It just gets aggravating, that everywhere you go like that, it's your pilot.
Well, y'all do paranormal stuff too, like ghosts and hauntings.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. But
Did
that was all from that UFO stuff.
Did I ever tell you about when I went down to Bruton for my stepson's wedding? what happened to me down there?
No, you didn't.
Well, Matt was getting married, and his wife is she was from Bruton, Alabama, and they were going to get married down there, and I think they got married in May. I'm not for sure, but it was like in 2005. Well, we went down there and met the mother and everything, and we knew that the wedding was going to be down there, so we were responsible for the groom. And so they said the best place that you could go was Willie's. Old Willie's. That's the name. And restaurant there. And it's in this really unique building. It used to be no drugstore, and I forgot the name of the drugstore, but anyway, we drove down there, and we went to Willie's that night, and there was a bunch of people there, and we had like a room to ourselves where we could have the party and stuff.
Yeah.
And me and Martin was sitting side by side, and Jennifer's mother was sitting right across the table from us, but I was in a round table. And it was a real old building, and the way the building is like you go down the street, and then all of a sudden the road V's, and the building is right there in the middle of that Y, that V, and it's built in a like a triangle shape at the front. And I was sitting there, and I thought it was really unique and stuff like that, and it was really nice. And we waited, and we was talking, and I was looking at Matt's mother-in-law, and she was looking at me, and then all of a sudden I felt something pull my hair. And I reached back there naturally. I reached back there and grabbed my hair and looked around, and there wasn't nobody standing there. And I thought, well, it must have been something, my chair must have got caught with my hair or something like that. So I just kind of shoved it aside. And I kept on talking, and then about that time, it got tugged again. And I said, who's pulling my hair? And Matt's mother-in-law says, nobody's pulling your hair. There's nobody around you. There's nobody standing behind you. I said, something's done pulled. She said, well, I said, if they pulled my hair a while ago, and now it got pulled again. She said, I noticed that you looked around like that a while ago, but no, there's nobody been standing behind you. Well, I go on down, and I figured it was a ghost at that time. And it don't stop there. Well, so we had to go on down to Gulf Shores, because we had our house down there, and we was going to spend the night there and then get up and go to the wedding next morning. Well, all of a sudden, we get there about 1:30, 2 o'clock, and I go to bed. And about 5 o'clock, I woke up, and, man, I thought my head was going to explode on me. And I went in there, and I said, Martin, you're going to have to help me. You're going to have to help me. He was mad because I woke him up. He said, what is it? I said, something's wrong, something ain't right. I mean, it was horrible. And at that time, I turned sick, and I ran toward the bathroom. Next thing I know, I'm laying out on the floor, and he said that I passed out, and I was curled up in the fetal position. Well, I was going in and out of consciousness. We didn't know where the hospital was down there, so he finally called an ambulance, and I do not remember that I was in so much severe pain. I was going in and out of consciousness, and everything. And then next thing I know, he called the ambulance, and I remember the doctor trying to ask me something, but I don't remember the ride. I don't remember the ride back. And next thing I knew, I woke up and I was in bed. And we missed his son's wedding. And I got to think about that. I said, that wasn't no ghost. That wasn't no ghost that attacked me there at that night. It
was a demon?
Yeah, it was a demon. And I did a little bit of research on it today, and guess what that place used to be? It used to be a drugstore, and not only that, upstairs it was a doctor's office. There's no probably the only doctor in town. You never know what went in and out that building there.
You sure don't.
And I know I was attacked in the spirit by a demon. What do you think?
Well, oh, yeah, that's real possible.
Well, the place of it's Old Willie's down in Bruton, Alabama.
Mhm.
They closed the restaurant down, and I don't think nobody's in the building now, but I've always wondered. Next time if I ever go back down there, I'm going to be prayed up.
Oh, yeah.
And they have some other ghost stories down there, but I was just looking up, and I just thought to myself, I'm going to check it out.
And also check to see what was there before the building was built.
Oh, well, Matt's mother-in-law works for the courthouse.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's having to do with something about planning or something like that. If anybody could find out, she could for me.
I would ask her to.
I did. But I thought that was interesting. I just wanted to throw that in.
Well, y'all, you know we've been talking for an hour already. Doesn't seem like it, but we have. Has anybody got anything they want to add to it tonight?
No, well, I'm gonna see if I can get up with Robert Whitekiller and see if I can get his mom to see if she'd be willing to talk, just listen to some of the stories that you guys have, and I'll get up with Mom and let her know
Okay.
when it's the time for her.
Heck, that's what I'd like to just listen to her.
Yeah.
What she had to say.
Yeah, I told him the same thing.
If he can just get her to say the stories and record it and send it to us, and we can get it on that way. But I would really like to talk to her.
Yeah, I would too. Just to listen to her and see what she has to say, because I know she's really into all that kind of stuff. So, and he's the one that told me about the shapeshifter.
Uh-huh.
And I mean that's what they call them, or that's what they do. So I really didn't get it because we were at work, so I didn't get a whole lot of information out of him at that time. So.
Well, let me ask you this.
All Indians believe in that. That certain things can change forms or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me ask you this. A shapeshifter, isn't that what a medicine doctor does?
Medicine man, yeah.
Medicine doctor, yeah. Isn't that what a...
supposed to be able to.
Do what?
He's one of them that's supposed to be able to do that. But now, I heard a story here in Alabama. I guess it's been 5 or 6 months ago that there was a priestess that was learning that, and she changed into a Black Panther, but then was unable to come back. So if it's like everything else. If you don't know what you're doing, you need to leave it alone.
Is that here recently? Or you just heard the story back that happened a long time ago?
Years ago. Years ago was when it was supposed to have happened.
Well, maybe she's the Black Panther we keep seeing around here.
Well, that's where it was at in Savannah.
Well, I had one stalking me for about 5 or 6 years. And that's crazy. Well, you know something? I've seen faces take different looks on them before.
Oh, I have too.
Yeah. There's a person that I know that I was around a whole lot, and they made pictures of her. And when that was back when you had to send you a film off to get it back, And when the film would come back, it was a whole different person on that film than what this lady looked like.
I think she was probably into magic, and she had done what they call a glamoury.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was a witch.
Mm-hmm. Probably full of demons too.
Probably was, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think the Bigfoot is really just that. It's the hairy guy. I don't know about shapeshifters or whatever like that, but I don't feel as frightened as I used to. So.
But you just be real careful whenever you're out there.
Well, I am.
Because they're wanting to come in contact with you for some reason, but yeah.
I hope they don't want Christmas dinner.
They might want Christmas dinner.
Me being the... No. Yeah, I know. I've heard people say that there's ones that move through, and they're traveling, and they're not as friendly. You know, that's the ones that you're familiar with. So.
Yeah.
Is that
I've heard that, and I know there's a lot of them who are angry because their timber companies are cutting so much timber. I mean, you'd get mad if somebody came in and took a bulldozer and tore your house down, wouldn't you?
Well, that might be why they got upset, too, around here and started screaming through the yard because Martin cut down 2 oak trees in the yard.
Yeah.
Garden. I guess they thought he was going to go saw happy.
Could have, yeah.
We needed those trees down around the garden, plus we needed some firewood.
Yeah.
But
anyway, we have enjoyed it. I'm going to let y'all go, and we'll try it again next month, and maybe we'll get more callers calling in.
Well,
but sure.
I want to wish you and Brother Jim a very merry, happy Merry Christmas and a happy New Year. And
well, thank you.
You too. Sure.
Because I don't know if I'll get to talk to you between now and Christmas time.
Oh, you just never know. We're always around somewhere.
And same to you, Dwight. We love you and we miss you.
All right, love you too, miss you, and hope you all guys have a Merry Christmas.
All right, you too.
All right.
Good night.
Bye-bye.